So who are USDT for some of your people who mightn't be familiar? USDT is basically a stable coin. Okay, and a stable coin is like a dollar that runs on digital rails. So it's basically a digital dollar. Now these are private companies, okay? So Tether is a private company and they issue this token called USDT. And there's other stablecoins as well, and don't think all these other stablecoin companies aren't doing this with USDC. They're also printing money and possibly buying Bitcoin, I'm just not sure. So these digital dollars are different than regular dollars. Regular dollars are backed by debt, but these digital dollars are actually full reserve, okay? And what that means is, for every dollar that's issued on USDT by Tether, there's an actual treasury purchased, or basically, to keep it simple, if they issue a digital dollar on the digital rails, well, they buy an actual real dollar in the real world to back that digital dollar. So it's called a full reserve currency, I guess, which is interesting because most of the other currencies we have aren't full reserve. You know, the euro's not full reserve, it's backed by nothing. The dollar's not full reserve, they're backed by nothing. So with Tether, so we'll just explain what they're doing now, the dynamic of this. The Federal Reserve, and it's so ironic, like, it's just, this is the flexibility of Bitcoin. It just bends around and nothing can stop it. And it just finds ways to suck value out of everything. And that's why, whether you're a believer or not, it's not about religion, it's about just studying the fundamentals. And once you realise everything that's happening, you realise it's an inevitability. So the Federal Reserve raised interest rates, okay, because we had this thing called inflation. Remember, Bitcoin was invented to protect you from inflation. So the Federal Reserve raised interest rates. Okay, and what that done was, that allowed companies who run these stable coins, like Tether, to be able to make money. Alright? So if I need a digital dollar, and there's countries all over the planet where people use these digital dollars, okay, it's the only way they can get access to dollars. They can't get access to the physical dollar, but they can get access to the digital dollar. And Bitcoin, as a currency, is too volatile in the short term for them to use. So they want to use the dollar. Most places that don't have a good currency, they want dollars. The dollar is the strongest currency on the planet. In fact, even people in Ireland, you should want dollars because the dollar hasn't appreciated as much as the euro. And if you saved some dollars instead of euros, you wouldn't have suffered from as much inflation. But I digress. So, Tether at the moment have 100 billion in USDT issued. 100 billion. So that means that they've got 100 billion in real world dollars now at their disposal, because they've had to back all the currency that was issued on the digital rails in the real world. So they got 100 billion of treasuries. Okay, or just if you're not sure about that, just say they've got 100 billion of dollars. So what they're doing with them dollars is they're taking the risk-free rate of return, which is the interest rate set by the Federal Reserve, which is whatever it is, 6% or something now, or we 5%, I don't know what it is, doesn't matter. Okay? Right? So they're, with their 100 billion, okay, let's say it's 5%, they're making 5 billion a year. 5 billion. What are they doing with that 5 billion? Are they saving it in the bank, like people who don't understand Bitcoin are doing? Are they buying houses, like people who don't understand Bitcoin are doing? Are they throwing it into the stock market and crossing their fingers, like people who don't understand Bitcoin are doing? No, they're not. They're smart. They're Bitcoiners. They're accumulating Bitcoin with it. So they're basically using unsound money, okay, crappy fiat, backed by nothing, as a way of printing Bitcoin, as a way of printing that fiat and exchanging it for Bitcoin. And what is that doing? What it's doing is, and the politicians don't understand this, or they might be too happy about it, but again, they can't stop it. Maybe they do and they realise they can't stop it. But they're only accelerating the demise of that system, because the collateral, they're using the collateral of the fiat system, the system that has enslaved everyone who's watching this, and a lot of you understand it, and a lot of you may not and think I'm a crazy man, okay? But they're using the collateral of that fiat system to acquire more hard, sound, digital money that's backed by energy, which is Bitcoin, okay? And it's absolutely, what an incentive. So they've got 100 billion working for them right now, which is producing, you know, if we're at 6%, $6 billion a year, $5 billion a year. And again, we talk about the inflows from the ETFs, which are massive, but most people aren't considering the inflows from just this one company, USDT, Tether, because they're producing billions every year on income from interest rates being high. So the longer interest rates stay higher, the more Bitcoin Tether get to buy. And it's just this rinse and repeat cycle. And the value has just been sucked out of fiat and fired into Bitcoin. And what does that do? It makes Bitcoin perform better. It makes Bitcoin worth more. And it makes more people pay attention to it. And the more people pay attention to it, and the more people who study it, and then they choose to own it, well, then it makes it perform better. Because remember, it's the first thing on the planet, people, that you can't make more of. Because it's a fixed supply. So it's like just this black hole. Okay, that the more the price goes up, the more people pay attention to it and want to own it, which causes the price to go up. Which causes more people to want to pay attention to it and own it, which causes the price to go up. Okay? And that's because it's perfect money. It's a money of a fixed supply. It's a money that no one can print more of. It's a money that nobody can debase. And that's why money, money has loads of different forms. We think of money as what was in our wallet. But it's not. And that's not money anyway. That's currency. But money can have many forms. And money trends towards the hardest source. And that's why property has been money for most of my life. People have used property as better money than leaving money in the bank. You know, people who understand how to get wealthy, they know that you don't leave money in the bank. That's just you're saving a deteriorating asset. You're better off changing that into an appreciating asset like bricks and mortar. Okay? But now we have a new kid on the block. Now we have a better form of money. We've got something that shares all the characteristics of bricks and mortar, but doesn't involve the flaws of it. And that's why the money is trending towards it. And that's why it's sucking the value out of everything. And that's why I hope you'll share this video with your friends and family and try and teach them, wake them up a little bit that there's a global race to acquire Bitcoin. Everyone's involved in it because everybody needs money. And if you use the best form of money, everyone will want it. The reason why people in Venezuela, okay, who need day-to-day money, the dollar is a better form of money for them. That's why they're all hungry for it. That's why they're all buying. USDT is having to issue dollars so they can use them and run them on digital rails. Okay? But once you're living below your means and you're able to actually save, okay, which is what wealthy people do, they save. They live below their means and they save. Okay? Now you need an even better store of money. And that's Bitcoin. And over the last 15 years, that's pretty obvious. There's daily volatility. There's monthly volatility. There's yearly volatility. But we don't price Bitcoin monthly or daily. We price it in 4-year epochs. And you see a completely different picture than the mainstream will lead you to believe. And that's why life gets much easier for anyone who does it. I call it the apprenticeship, guys. Alright? I served my time as an apprentice. I had to make the tea. I had to go to the shop. You know, and I had to do well, I didn't go to the shop for 4 years, but you had to do it for your first year. Used to get a bit of a beating as well. That was in the good old days. I think now you can't even talk, you can't even shout at them, or they'll be complaining about it. But that's beside the point. But you know, I served my apprenticeship, and then I got qualified, and I was able to earn the big bucks. It's the same with Bitcoin. You got to serve your apprenticeship. You got to understand when you're serving your apprenticeship why you're getting paid crappy money. Okay, because you're learning. Same with Bitcoin. Why you're not getting rich instantly? Because you're learning. But there's not a single person on the planet who served a 4-year apprenticeship in Bitcoin, okay, and isn't in a totally different financial position. And that's the beauty of this thing, and that's why you're here. That's why you do your daily exercise. You press the like button, and guess what? Tether aren't going to stop. USDT aren't going to stop. They've got 100 billion working for them, and they're just buying Bitcoin with it. They're stacking. So the longer the interest rates stay up, the higher the price of Bitcoin is going to go, which has just helped the demise of the fiat system. What a beautiful scenario. Guys, have a super day. Thanks for being here. Share the video. Throw in any comments below if it didn't quite make sense to you. And perhaps I can try and explain it better. I'm just multitasking as always, heading up here. Just get a workout in the gym. See you guys. Thanks for being here. Dinny out.